everybody, this is Dragon Age Season 2 Resurgence, Session 19. Did we think we were gonna die?
I definitely thought we were gonna die. At least one.
Yeah. Even the GM's nodding. Oh my god. Even Hawk was nodding. Yeah, I thought you were gonna die, honestly.
I thought I was gonna die.
You were pretty close.
I was pretty close.
I was very. You guys did a very good job with your prep. I was. It was a situation where I didn't have a preconceived notion of how you would do it. I just set it up, and I was gonna let you guys try to figure out a way to figure out how to do it, and you guys did a really good job. The animals trick was thinking out of the box, and I thought that was super creative. So
it was really good.
And I try to, if you have watched me GM in the past, I try to reward creativity as much as possible, as long as it makes conceivable sense, and it made conceivable sense to Snow White your way into the.
I'm just so glad it was helpful.
Hey,
it worked.
You don't need any more dwarves, just saying.
Have you seen... It's definitely not their best movie, but did you see Shrek 3 by any chance, where Snow White actually does something at the end of Shrek 3? I don't know if you know.
Oh, it's been so long.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. I've seen it.
There's this part where Fiona... Hopefully I'm not spoiling anyone who's watching, but Snow White basically comes out and she starts singing, and all of the the forest animals and the birds come out, and then her entire demeanor changes from being a sweet little princess to demonic emo, and then she sends all of the animals to attack, to fly and attack the bad guys, which is ridiculously cool. So that's what I was seeing.
That's funny.
Oh, that's right. She was singing Zeppelin. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was singing Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
In that scene.
I remember in the chat when we were talking about this. I'm like, I could summon a swarm of nugs. Would that help?
She did bring that up. She's like, I could just swarm their whole place with nugs.
So that was a really good way to
Oh my gosh.
figure things out ahead of time. You asked good questions. And you almost made it out without a hitch. Almost.
If
it wasn't for that 111.
Man.
But as we were kind of saying before, it makes it very dramatic that way. Don't you think?
Yeah. I'm actually really happy that it happened that way, because it just added so much more depth to it, and it made it feel so much more real as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like breaking into the Archon's house, even as experienced warriors and vets and stuff, it's not an easy thing to do. We shouldn't have just been able to walk in and then walk out with our job.
Yeah.
Did it get a little too close for comfort? Yes, but
And as I said, the viewers can see the map and see where everybody is, and I was waiting for you guys to just walk into the kitchen, but you didn't do that. Fortunately, I was wondering if the fact that you heard someone leave the kitchen made you think, oh, that was the only person that was in there, but you were smart enough.
Was there? So there was combat going to happen if we went into the kitchen,
unless you were able to figure out a creative way to prevent the combat.
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
Could we know what they were doing in the kitchen? Because it was really bothering me. It's like, what are the mages doing in the kitchen?
Yes. So I can show you. I can start revealing the map. So if you go to your Roll20, I can show more of what's going on. So here is the entire map there, and some points of interest. So there were 3 mages in here. They were in there. They were basically having a midnight snack, because they were working late on some sort of whatever it is that they were working on late in the Archons. And there was a servant in here who was helping them by preparing some food. All of the servants are in this area over here asleep. And there actually were a few mages down in here working on some stuff, but none of them heard the commotion, fortunately. You guys were really good about that. At least not until it was too late. Then on the main area, let's see. There were more mages and suits of armor coming up that way. There were suits of armor down in the courtyard at the front, over here, that never got activated.
Whew.
There was a mage coming up over here, who was actually the piano player. He was playing the piano in this room over here.
Oh, yeah.
This staircase if you wanted to get the medallion, there was an option to try to acquire the medallion from the Archon while he sleeps, was up here. He was actually in the secret room that you guys were told about in the northwest corner of the building, which I represented in this pocket. This is actually up in the tower. So this misty area is where the Archon was until the commotion happened, and as soon as he knew there was a commotion, he just teleported into the summoning circle. So, yeah, so there were a bunch of ways you could have gotten through this. If you had gone through the kitchen, you could have either just tried to take out the mages without anyone finding out, or maybe you could have deceptioned your way through them. I think the smartest thing that you guys did was to try to go through the walls without being seen by any of the suits of armor. That was the smartest thing. Because if you had tried to go through the walls any other way, they would have caught you and alerted all of the other guards. So that was the smartest thing you guys did.
Well, that and, frame for
Yes.
tax fraud. Go Theo.
Yes. That's my favorite part of the thing.
Yeah, I need to use my bracer more. I've been trying. It's such a specific thing, like earth and acid and stuff. So I tend to just kind of forget about it. But I'm glad I got to use it quite a bit in this session.
What was going through Theoben's head when he discovers the notebook with...
There was a notebook? I don't recall that.
Mhm.
Okay. What was going through his head? This is a major thing. This is something that will change everywhere. It will change the circles. It will change the chantry. This affects a lot of things, and regardless of whether or not he believes tranquility is or isn't the right thing, what he does know is he doesn't want the Archon to have it. That was his logic. He did not want it to stay there. So what happens to it afterwards, I don't know, and I'll have to think about how Theoben will kind of broach the subject. But what was going through his mind at the time was basically, I don't want it here. I don't want the Archon having it. I don't want Tevinter having this.
Did the thought ever cross Theo's mind, even for a moment, to just destroy the notebook and not
Destroy it,
and maybe tell or not tell the rest of the group that he did?
Yes. That's why there was a long pause when Theo found the book as I was weighing up the options. And yeah, it was almost on the tip of my tongue to go, yeah, he poisons that as well. He destroys that. But he realized that wasn't his call to make. And
Okay.
that wasn't something that should have been his responsibility for whatever good or bad comes of it.
Okay. How did the players feel? What were going through the players' minds when Theo finds the research on finding a cure for tranquility? Just out of curiosity.
Well, we knew that he was working on it because he wanted to make Hugh no longer tranquil.
Yep.
But I don't know. I don't know what to do because I mean, Andrea's against tranquility, but maybe she's more against making new tranquil than curing old one. I guess she's. It sounds like it could cause some serious problems between the Chantry and the Circles, and I don't know, like it's a can of worms. So.
It's a can of worms.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it must have been quite a surprise for you, Hawk, that because you knew that was there, but you didn't know who or if all or none of the party found it.
Right.
So it must have been quite a surprise that Theo was the person that discovered this.
I was expecting you all to somehow end up in that room and one or more of you finding that notebook, but it was just Theoben in there. So I was curious as to what he was going to do alone in that room. So do you guys
I can't say that's a dilemma I would have expected to fall on him. So it really did take a lot of thought.
Because you don't have to worry. Dwarves don't have to worry about tranquility. Not really.
Right. No, they don't.
They don't care really about tranquility. They're indifferent, I would say.
Just again, why he didn't really feel confident to make that judgment call either way as to whether or not they should exist. That research right now. So it wasn't his call to make. Him less than anyone else in his group.
If you're planning on telling the group, are you planning on telling everyone or certain people in the group?
I'm not going to answer that right now because I want to have a think about it before next session. Work it out.
Hypothetically,
but it should be interesting.
Yeah.
Does the other
it should be
characters want to hypothetically share what they think? How they think their characters will react to the notebook?
To the information. Well, if I was in Theo's shoes and I found it myself, I would have put it in my pocket and I would have kept it for myself.
For yourself, okay.
Because I don't know who I would have trusted with that information, but if I could figure out how to use it, I could help you. So I'm pretty clever, but I don't know if the world's ready for that information.
Okay.
But as for Theo, I don't know.
So the question was, if you were Theo, hypothetically, what would you have done? Is that?
Yep. If you were Theo, and you were the only person in that room, and you saw the notebook after you had destroyed the painting, what would Cedric have done?
Oh, what would Cedric have done?
Yeah,
he would have just lit that thing up.
He would have destroyed the possible cure for tranquility.
Yeah, I mean, he is completely against tranquility, but he believes that if you change it in this way, it could cause a lot more trouble than what it's trying to fix. Where what he wants to do is he wants to change how the order operates by climbing up through the ranks and then spreading his ideals to the point where you don't need a cure for tranquility because it just won't be a thing anymore.
And everyone prior to that is just SOL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that was to an extent what Andrea was thinking too, but hey, he tranquilized himself, so she figures she can save him. but maybe that's it.
Do you think?
And that's wearing off too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
If he stays with people. Yeah.
It looks like, well, based on the insight that you got from his letter, it looks like he can't win at that point. It looks like it's now that the damage has been done, he's either going to regain his non-tranquility gradually because he's secluding himself, or he's going to get it because he's not secluding himself.
Yeah.
So.
But I think Theo made the right call in not destroying it immediately. If I was in Theo's shoes, like if I was playing as Theo, I would have done the same.
If you were in Theo's shoes, okay.
Yeah.
How about Kenna? I don't know how the Avar don't really care about.
Yeah, the tranquility with Kenna, I don't know. She definitely would have kept it. She knows what it is, and she knows how important it is. But I think she would have just gave it to somebody else to take care of and say, "What should I do with this?"
Okay.
I mean, I know it's a lame answer, but that's...
No, that's
No, it makes sense. Like, I mean, Kenna's in the same shoes as Theo in that they come from cultures where it's just not a thing. So it's difficult to form an opinion.
Yeah.
She probably would have gave it to Andrea, I think. Since I feel like she kind of is the go-to for magic.
Oh.
So when Cedric, when Connor, I keep mixing those two names up. When Connor first went up the stairs and got hit by those 5 spells and was like really jacked up, and we all came up, he was laying on the ground and he pointed his wand out and like made that shield and said, go. Was he trying to like cover everyone, or what was he trying to do there?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah. I knew it. I was like, you.
Not this time, kid.
Yeah.
We love you too much to leave you.
Had you not had that conversation with him in the chantry, he would have stayed until you were all gone, until you were all past. But because he made that promise with you, then when you gave him the bracer, he did leave, because he did promise you that.
Yeah.
And we almost lost Rodney.
You did. Rozzy was taking
Yeah.
quite a beating, but she was like Rozzy was okay about dying.
Uh-huh.
She was okay with that.
If she was going to die though, killing Tevinter, that's the way
Yes.
that she's
Exactly.
gonna go. That's the way she's
Yeah.
gonna go.
Yes, exactly. She was.
It would have been a good death.
I think you definitely had to tell her verbally to leave, because otherwise she would just stayed there the entire time and just gotten rid of as many of them as possible.
Yeah, Theo was like stuck to Rozzy the entire combat. Like I noticed that, and I was like, oh my goodness, he's a dwarf and he's helping a darkspawn.
Mm-hmm.
I was really afraid that someone was gonna die, like a PC
Yeah.
or
I was
or
ready for it.
NPC.
They could have, yeah, a PC or an NPC could have died. It was very obvious that was a possibility, and I think it was only that we were. Well, it was partly luck of rolls, and it was partly just us kind of being a bit clever in
Yes.
what we did on our round stuff that we didn't lose anyone.
Yes. You guys were smart, and I try to reward people who play it smart and tactically. I wasn't going to be like, no, somebody's going to die anyway, regardless of how smart you guys were.
You make it through, but the Archon casts one more bolt and it strikes someone in the back. Who is it in session?
Yes.
Who is it
There were
next?
there were a lot of close calls. There were some close calls, and you would have been in a very compromising position had some of the Archon's other spells. The Nova ability was pretty clutch. 'cause
Oh my gosh, that Nova.
Yeah.
We gotta use that all the time.
The fact that you
It was amazing.
shattered the Archon's barrier, which again is not an easy thing to do, meant that he lost some turns because he had to get himself, reshielded and all that. So he could have done more damage if it weren't for the fact that you had distracted him for a couple turns. So
How much HP did his shield have?
I want to say it had 80.
80.
The Archon had 200 hit points on top of that.
Really?
So
Oh
Oh my
my gosh.
he was very tough. The Archon was not
How much did he have by the end of the combat?
a little bit over 100. He was still doing fine.
Yeah.
He was still fine. He would have still gotten out a few more spells. So
Oh, we could have gotten him. We should have just done like bamfed supernova 3 times, just right next to him. Boom, boom, boom.
I was wondering when you guys were going to finally use that. It was a good use. The other cool use was having Cedric deactivate all of those armors at once. That was also super critical. Otherwise, all of those suits of armor would have followed you up the stairs.
Oh my gosh, we would have been dead.
You would have been overwhelmed.
I was waiting for a lot of the people. I guess it was kind of metagaming because I could see the people moving up the stairs, but even though Cedric didn't know, so I guess it was kind of like a split-second decision that he was going to do it. But I was waiting for them to like all like, or at least a majority of the suits of armor to like clump up around to then do it.
Smart.
And then that grease spell kept him down there, thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, you played it very smart.
And then the Inferno, and then the mage who turned into an abomination.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
This is my favorite moment.
Yes.
Always like we do another Dragon Age campaign. I run one. And whenever anybody plays a mage, that's always the main thing that my party is scared of. A magical mishap that rolls a 6 and just automatically becomes an abomination, and they have to roll a new character.
Yes.
That's even what it says. If you fail your will save, roll a new character.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So for it to happen to an enemy, I'm just overjoyed.
Yes.
Yeah, that was even though it attacked Cedric, it was still worth it just for Cedric to be like, look at what could happen.
Yes.
Yeah, it's incidentally why it's a lot more terrifying to play a mage in the Dragon Age system than any other that I know of.
Terrifying. That's why I don't play mages in the Dragon Age system. Like, it's so low. Like, the chance is so low. Like, the odds, but it's
still
the thought of that could actually happen is like, no, I don't want to do it.
Yes.
Oh,
It's terrifying.
That's why I like maxed her will before I even worried about magic. I was like, nope, I'm never getting possessed.
Yes. Let's talk more about Connor and Kenna. That one scene.
Okay.
Details.
I wasn't gonna ask the question, but if you guys want to ask the question, that's on you.
Oh, we're asking the question.
And if Sam wants to answer the question,
I'm gonna handle this. Did he venture the deep roads?
Did he what? It like literally
That's the
zapped out
paradox.
right when you said that. Did he what?
Venture the deep roads.
Oh gosh.
you don't have to answer, Sam.
No.
But if you want to, you can.
Just keep it between us. Hark put up a huge sensor nug, like chewing on the film or something like that.
Connor and Kenna definitely did the deed.
Okay, and now that we know that, I will also say that Theobin's diagrams helped a lot.
Yes, you're welcome.
Which
very welcome.
which solidifies why you get a +2 bonus by being next day.
I gave her that bonus.
You gave her that bonus.
Thanks, Theo.
You're welcome.
So if the players,
Oh my gosh.
the lesson of today, boys and girls, is when you're in an Angel Arts campaign, you better get a romance going with somebody.
And have a friend willing to give them diagrams so they know what they're doing.
Well, that's cool. I'm very glad they had that moment. That's so cool. So
Yeah, that was really nice.
very cool.
God, I'm so glad I talked to him now that you said that. Like, he was all ready to sacrifice himself. I would have felt
know.
really bad.
Yeah, that was really bad.
And my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least he had a great last night, at least.
Oh. how did how long did it take for Kenna to realize that that's what she wanted to that's the step she wanted to take, I guess? I'm not necessarily talking about that. I'm more talking about expressing how she really feels. That's
Yeah.
more of what I was talking about.
I think it was a lot of the fact that, I mean, since the kiss, he's been so supportive toward her, especially with her brothers. And I mean, there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that, didn't actually get role played, but I mean, the whole time he was always by her side and this like comfort and always supportive and talking. And I think she's gotten dependent on that and she needs it in her life now.
Oh, that's so
And it's
sweet.
just, I don't think she could see her life without that support in it. And so, I mean, she, especially when everyone was talking about we could die, that this is it, I think she realized that she had to voice this. And she didn't do it just because they might die, but it definitely was a huge factor. She wanted to let him know how important he was to her.
Oh, so sweet.
Anything that BioWare games have told me, it's right before you're likely to die, the mission before you get lucky.
Yes, there you go.
I'm glad that I finally got to have my scene with Kenna, because that scene with the herbs
potion.
and mixing in flask, that has been written since November.
Oh.
I wrote
Oh my
that
gosh.
a long time, and there was just never the right moment or the right time, or we all had other stuff, so it never felt like the right moment for Theo to be like, "Hey, Kenna, let's do this." But it's been preying on my mind so long that they never really had any one-to-one scenes together, which was a shame, because she has also been very supportive of Theo, like when others weren't, and she was very supportive when it came to Rosie. And even though Theo doesn't know this, but she was also, she calmed Rosie down when. So Kenna has just been so important to him, and they hadn't had that scene together. I know that they're both really awkward about how they communicate that they like each other. Like Kenna does the pranks, and Theo kind of is uncomfortable with the pranks. But so that was why I thought, well, if they have trouble talking, at least there's like an activity in front of them that they can do. And I thought Kenna would enjoy just doing the
Making
okay,
things
pick
explode.
that one and that one. Exactly. Yeah. So that had been written for a while, and I'm glad I got to RP that.
It was really nice. I like that too.
And I got some cool poisons to use in the Archon battle, which was a huge plus.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. You smashed that right on that horrible blood mage.
Yes.
I did. Like, he was casting blood magic on everyone, so I was like, I could grenade this, or like do something like more tactical, but no, fuck it. You are blood wounding everybody. Blood to the eye.
Nice.
I was slightly worried that it was going to hit somebody in the head when you were throwing it. It was going to hit somebody right in the head. I was like, here comes the triple ones.
I was worried too, because you needed to roll pretty high for that to not hit anyone in front of you. Because doors are very narrow, and getting it past getting past one person was hard enough, but two people. So you rolled high enough. So.
Yeah, this is a fun session. We did so many weird things.
The taxes. The Archon's taxes.
That's great.
Those were the best rolls Theo had all session. Like, the second that it was like, I'm gonna fuck up his taxes and forge his birth certificate, I got like over 20. Like 21, 24. What?
It was amazing.
So now, even though we didn't kill the Archon, he's gonna like overspend and get done for tax fraud. And if we start some rumors around Tevinter that he's not from Tevinter, his birth certificate won't help him.
Oh my gosh, we need to birther out there who's like, he's not even from Tevinter. Show me your certificate.
I will say that Kimberly knows this because I told her something big happened for Cedric at the end or towards the end.
Okay.
And it's definitely going to come up next session. So.
Oh, now you have me curious.
What?
Yeah. Something really big in his life.
In his
happened.
life, yeah.
Can you at least say if it's a good thing or bad thing? Or you don't want to say?
It's probably not going to be that good of a thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I think with the people around him, he'll get over it. Or get through it. Not over it. That's kind of mean to say.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. All right.
what a teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what you're talking about, so interesting to see in next session.
I think the other reason he told me was because he had told Andrea, like, shortly before this, so it would make sense for her to know. But yeah, I'll go
Okay.
after him next session, and I'll talk to him about it because Andrea does know. So
Okay.
I just want to emphasize how stressful that was.
That was incredibly stressful. Definitely. But it was really enjoyable. I had a lot of fun with that one. So much fun.
And hopefully it was you felt like you were given the opportunity to decide for yourselves what you wanted to do, and it was rewarding when you got things right and challenging when things didn't quite roll the way you did, and hopefully it still felt like your life was in danger, because it definitely was.
It definitely felt like
It always felt in danger.
Good.
yeah,
Good.
I really, really came close, guys. I was this much help.
I was ready for there to be more than one person dying. I was ready for it. So good job on getting through that. I think if you had stayed and tried to fight the Archon, that probably would have been a mistake, I think.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Nah,
hearing
Cedric
200
could have
help,
soloed him.
yeah.
He was fine.
If we kept doing like the big like Nova blast thing and kept taking down his shields, I'm pretty sure he could have taken him out.
I was out of charges. I couldn't.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh,
she had to void her way through things, and that helped.
I
That was-
voided.
That's true.
Holy crap.
we did
Okay.
it, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.